Top 6.
Hey, what's up guys? We got a super terrifying list today. It's medieval torture devices. All of these devices were used in medieval times and they're horrifying.
Number 6.
The rack. Have you ever dislocated anything? I don't know, a shoulder, a finger even? How about every joint in your entire body at the same time? Oh, you haven't? The rack was designed for just that. You got your classic rack here, a large wooden frame with a roller at the top and the bottom. The victim would be placed on the frame and their hands and ankles would be tied to the rollers. And then the interrogation would begin. As the torturer turned the wheels, the body would slowly stretch until the joints were dislocated. They made the other prisoners watch as a form of punishment. Medieval people, you twisted as fuck. So the rack made its way onto the scene in England in 1447, but eventually it was outlawed in 1628. Thank God. Why was it created in the beginning? Who even thought of that? Who thought, yeah, we're gonna spread people out like fucking silly putty and rip them apart? You're sick. I prefer this rack over that one.
Number 5.
Heretic's fork. It'll eat you for dinner. You know those neck braces that people wear that look really uncomfortable? Now imagine there was a fork attached to the top and the bottom, just like digging into your chin and your boobs. That's rack torture. Oh! Now as an added bonus, people were usually hung from the ceiling or otherwise suspended so they couldn't lie down. You know who deserved this treatment? Liars, blasphemers, and people who use the Lord's name in vain. Jesus Christ. I mean, God damn it. Oh shit. Fuck. Yeah, fuck. This punishment made it nearly impossible to talk or sleep. I mean, if your head dropped from fatigue, you would basically just stab yourself.
Number 4.
The brazen bull. You remember in The Three Little Pigs how the wolf climbs down the chimney and lands in the big pot on the fire and all the pigs cheer? You know that happy children's story where they boil a wolf to death? What's wrong with us? Anyway, the brazen bull is similar. But instead of falling down a chimney, victims would be placed inside a large bronze bull by a door on the side. Then a fire was lit underneath and the thing would heat up. And the person inside would essentially burn alive while the townspeople watched and listened. And that, my friends, is why television was invented. You wanna know what's even more sick? There were a series of tubes installed in the device that made the victim's scream sound like a bellowing bull. What sound does a bull make, sweetie? The sound of screaming people being burned alive. E-I-E-I-O. What's wrong with us?
Number 3.
The tub. With the tub? That doesn't sound bad, unless you hate to take baths. Maybe give me a little bubbles, a little boys to men, close your eyes. But what if you were sitting in a tub covered in milk and honey? Tell me more. Okay, so what if you were locked in this tub, except for your head, which was covered in milk and honey and left outside for a long period of time? You would attract bugs and animals that would eat you alive. And if that's not bad enough, victims would be fed often and thus forced to sit in their own filth because, as the modern day storybook told us, everybody poops. You're covered in milk and honey, you're sitting in your own filth, and just bugs and maggots are just like going to town on your face. Not in the good way. Who thinks of these things? Seriously, were people just so bored back in the days that they're just sitting around thinking of ways to kill people? Get an Instagram, stalk your ex. I don't know, look at pictures of pizza. Make a vision board. Make up a musical and then sing it with your sister and put on a show for the neighbors and charge everyone $3. What else do I do for entertainment? Get a horse, tie some shit on there, and ride a fucking dragon. And take over the kingdom.
Number 2.
Rat torture, oh my God. You watch Game of Thrones, right? Who doesn't? Spoiler alert! It's your fault now if you don't fucking move. You may remember in season 2, episode 4, when Arya was disguised as a boy and she was in that town and they were captured. It doesn't matter. They used rats to kill people. Rat torture was a real thing. Here's how it worked. They put a bucket on a person's chest with a rat in it, and then they heat up the end of the bucket with fire, and the rat would try to escape the heat by burrowing through the person's chest. Yeah. Eaten alive by a rat. Fucked up people. Again, who thought of this? Who's like, let's take a rat and have it eat through somebody? Where was medieval PETA?
And number 1.
Oh my God, the Catherine's wheel. This is too much. Who gave this bitch a wheel? I can't. I will. The Catherine wheel, also known as the breaking wheel or simply the wheel. I mean, a wheel, like everything else, doesn't sound so bad, right? Wrong. It's your basic torture device designed to smash your limbs. So the victim was tied to a large wheel and stretched out over the spokes. And then as the wheel would turn, the torturer would smash limbs with a hammer, breaking all the bones. Like, my bone's not broken. As if that's not bad enough, the person's limbs were then woven between the spokes of the wheel. They wouldn't kill you immediately. They'd put the wheel on a pole and let the birds eat you alive. And it could take up to 3 days. It would suck to be alive during medieval times. I mean, unless they were an animal, I guess, and then you'd get lots of free meals. Oh, no, I'm done. I'm done.
Top 6.
All right, that's all the disturbing info I have for you guys today. Go back to your Twitter or Instagram or any form of entertainment that doesn't involve people dying, all right? I'm Kelly Landry, and you're smarter than you were. Hello, welcome to my show. Today, we're gonna talk about top 6 things. I mean, what's this girl's character? I'm trying to think of like what her character is.
Oh, Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
Jesus Christ. She's not that. Remember the 3 little pigs? When I have to like read the script, I'm like, I don't, what happened? Oh yeah, okay. Crisp, crisp, crisp. Ankle, ankle, finger, finger, finger. I mean wrist, wrist. Going out of my mind. How does she think of this? She doesn't. She's having a stroke.